Reading the title of this piece, one might expect a detailed guide filled with expert advice on the nuances of intimate oral connection. However, this discussion takes a different path, centering not just on the act itself, but on the importance of focusing on your partner's desires and needs. Have you ever experienced that familiar disappointment of receiving a gift that wasn't quite what you had hoped for? Perhaps you dropped hints to your family or friends before your birthday or holiday, eagerly anticipating a present that reflected your wishes, only to unwrap something completely unexpected. It's a bittersweet moment. On one hand, gratitude surfaces because someone took the time and effort to choose a gift for you. On the other hand, there's a subtle, unspoken disappointment that the gift missed the mark. The complexity of this dynamic lies in the silent agreement that you should appreciate the giver's intentions no matter the outcome, while the giver may anticipate gratitude simply because they made the effort. This mismatched expectation can subtly foster an atmosphere of polite pretense rather than genuine fulfillment. Most of us have encountered this type of scenario at some point. Now please bear with us as we share a personal reflection. Back in the 1970s and our early 20s, we were not practicing Christians. During those formative years of courtship, a period often marked by exploration and excitement, our intimate experiences were abundant and spontaneous. Fueled by youthful energy and the thrill of newness, we embraced the freedom to express affection openly, often without much thought about discretion or societal expectations. Intimacy was an adventure that happened everywhere, in cars, in living rooms, in parks, wherever passion could find a place to ignite. One vivid memory stands out: the satisfaction derived from knowing I could bring him joy and release simply through devoted attention from my lips and tongue. Similarly, his devoted care would bring me to heights of pleasure that seemed almost effortless in their intensity. It felt as if, in those moments, the world aligned perfectly. Desires were met and closeness felt complete. But as time passed, we began to recognize that not all experiences were equally enjoyable. Certain actions, once exciting or neutral, began to feel uncomfortable or even unpleasant for one or both of us. The natural response was to simply avoid those things, slowly settling into routines shaped by what felt comfortable rather than what might evoke greater pleasure or connection. Herein lies a fundamental truth. The vitality of intimate relationships depends heavily on open and honest communication. This means, for both partners, not only expressing what you want, but truly hearing what the other desires. It requires moving beyond assumptions and opening a continuous dialogue that honors individual preferences and boundaries. The true essence of sharing intimacy is rooted in the intention to give your partner happiness, pleasure, and satisfaction, not to seek reciprocal gain or to focus on your own desires exclusively. In this dynamic, the greatest fulfillment emerges from the act of giving itself, a blessing that enriches both giver and receiver. Many couples find it highly stimulating to be able to spontaneously offer passionate devotion exactly in the way their partner prefers. The absence of expectation to receive in return often adds to the genuine pleasure in giving. For example, there have been times when one of us, while offering devoted attention lovingly directed to the other, has felt so aroused by their partner's pleasure that we instinctively moved in rhythm with the surface supporting us. Those moments of mutual enthusiasm and shared energy create a unique and powerful bond. One common pitfall in long-term relationships is complacency, the assumption that we know everything there is to know about our partner's intimate needs. No matter how well we think we understand them, people grow and change, and so do their preferences. Expecting sexual experiences to remain static throughout life can lead to dissatisfaction and missed opportunities for deeper connection. Our journey together included marriage, raising children, managing homes, careers, and the many responsibilities that gradually fill life with distractions and lessen privacy. These factors can challenge the maintenance of an intimate relationship, but the foundation of open communication remains vital. After we joined a faith community and embraced Christian values, we encountered new perspectives on right and wrong influenced by the teachings and opinions of those around us. Yet, we learned that not all advice or judgment aligns with our truth. Some friends experienced dissatisfaction in their intimate relationships, with one choosing to stop sharing physical affection altogether. Others felt defeated when attempts to connect failed to meet expectations. Marriage is a commitment not only of partnership, but of exclusivity in sharing affection and intimacy. Realizing that you are your spouse's sole source of these experiences brings responsibility. When one partner's needs are not met, it creates fertile ground for discontent and can lead to thoughts or actions that jeopardize the relationship's trust. Therefore, each partner must strive not to give what they want to give, but to respond to what their beloved truly needs. This approach demands mutual cooperation and sincere effort. Throughout our writings, you may have come across references to our intimate revolution. This transformation arose through candid and fearless communication about desires and boundaries. Such honesty allows couples to explore and deepen their connection genuinely. However, many couples enter marriage holding back parts of themselves, fearful of judgment or rejection. This withholding can be especially pronounced among those embracing particular faith traditions, where certain expressions of desire might be labeled inappropriate. Despite these challenges, it is essential to cultivate dialogue and understanding, particularly regarding acts of oral devotion, which remain a powerful expression of giving and receiving love and pleasure. Ultimately, the path to deeper intimacy begins with the willingness to listen, to share, and to grow together in trust and openness. There is an undeniable thrill in being able to offer your partner spontaneous, devoted attention exactly the way they desire, without expecting anything in return, though often that joy is reciprocated naturally. Intimacy at its best is a dance of give and take, but the purest pleasure comes from the willingness to give. There have been moments in our life together when one partner lies comfortably on a mattress, couch, or floor offering loving attention, while the other's arousal intensifies so much that involuntary movements follow, subtle grinding, rhythmic motions against the surface below. This physical expression speaks to the deep connection and excitement born from knowing you are pleasing the one you love. One of the biggest mistakes couples make is entering intimate moments believing they have learned everything there is to know about their partner's desires. This illusion can lead to complacency, where expectation replaces curiosity, and the excitement of discovery fades away. Even worse, we sometimes expect our partner to be content forever with the routines and patterns set early in a relationship, refusing to evolve together. Our path took us through marriage, family life, and the accumulation of responsibilities, children to raise, homes to maintain, careers to grow, and pets to care for. These everyday obligations often clutter the space once reserved purely for privacy and intimate connection. Maintaining a fulfilling sexual relationship amidst these demands requires conscious effort. Along the way, we embraced a spiritual journey that introduced new frameworks for understanding right and wrong as taught by friends, mentors, and faith leaders. Yet, we recognized that not every opinion or rule necessarily resonated with our unique experience as a couple. Among our acquaintances, some women found giving devoted care to be distasteful or draining. In severe cases, this led to a complete withdrawal from physical closeness with their spouses. Meanwhile, some men lamented with their friends about feeling inadequate or unwanted, as if their attempts to please went nowhere, leading to a creeping sense of failure in their marriages. Marriage represents a sacred union, and within that union, exclusivity applies not only to companionship, but also to the realm of intimacy. As the sole source of sexual fulfillment for one another, partners bear a responsibility that cannot be taken lightly. When one struggles to meet the other's needs, dissatisfaction can fester and create fertile ground for doubts and temptations that threaten the bond's integrity. Therefore, the onus lies on both partners to actively give not what they wish to give, but what their partner truly needs to feel satisfied and cherished. This gift is born of cooperation and mutual respect. If you have followed our earlier writings, you may have encountered our discussions about an intimate revolution in our marriage. This transformation emerged through brave, honest conversations about what truly excites and fulfills each of us. Such communication encompasses much more than just words. It requires a vulnerability that reveals deep desires, fears, and personal truths. Unfortunately, during the courtship phase, many of us hold back important facets of ourselves, fearing judgment or rejection. Marriage then becomes a place where those hidden parts wait in silence, sometimes indefinitely, hoping for a future when they can be expressed. This tendency is often magnified within Christian unions, where certain desires may be viewed through the lens of morality or spiritual prohibition, making open dialogue challenging. Yet, focused communication becomes even more critical under these conditions. This article's emphasis is on the intimate act of oral devotion, so we focus our reflections there. First and foremost, avoid assuming you know best. Intimate giving does not need to be confined to the bedroom or to a conventional time or place. In fact, such moments can become thrilling additions to occasions like road trips, visits to secluded parks, or even whispered exchanges hidden amongst wedding receptions. Expanding your view of where and when to express intimacy can revitalize your connection and add an element of playful surprise. Ultimately, the key to lasting satisfaction lies in ongoing openness and willingness to adjust, explore, and cherish your partner's pleasure as much as your own. Only through such heartfelt cooperation can intimacy thrive over the long haul. One of the biggest misunderstandings in intimate relationships is the assumption that you already know what is best for your partner. When it comes to offering devoted attention, it's vital to shed rigid expectations and open yourself to new possibilities. For example, don't confine these special exchanges to the bedroom or specific times. Intimacy can flourish almost anywhere: a spontaneous moment on a road trip, a brief secret shared at a family gathering, or a quiet interlude during a celebration. Embracing this mindset can add excitement and freshness to your connection. Focusing on the art of devoted care for her, one must remember that it's not just about one specific spot or movement. Rather, it's about using a combination of tongue, lips, and mouth with intention, rhythm, and sensitivity to bring a woman to the peak of pleasure. Sometimes, incorporating gentle touches from fingers or thoughtfully chosen toys can enhance the experience, but nothing substitutes sincere sexual communication. One challenge many women experience is nearing climax only to have the sensation fade before it fully arrives. This can be deeply frustrating when it happens repeatedly. If the woman gives up too easily or the man becomes impatient, disappointment can settle in and dampen intimacy. However, with both partners committed to staying on point, these moments of anticipation can culminate in intensely rewarding climaxes. This practice is often called edging, bringing oneself close to release and then pulling back to intensify the final sensation. Interestingly, this happens biologically as well, and men can experience similar patterns of building tension and holding there. Clear communication is essential during these moments. If she says, "That's right, stay there," it's important the partner resists the urge to get creative and instead continues exactly what is working. Verbal cues like softer, harder, or move your tongue here supplement nonverbal sounds, reinforcing confidence and precision. True enjoyment goes beyond focusing solely on the clitoral area. Attentive care to all parts of the vulva, as well as areas nearby like the inner thighs and pelvis, can greatly deepen the sensation. Soft, sensual kisses along the inner thighs, for example, have a powerful effect that many overlook. Open and trusting dialogue leads to a growing desire for more amazing experiences. It's not uncommon for a woman to have multiple climaxes during a single session, sometimes 5 or 6, facilitated not only by oral attention, but by a combination of activities spaced over time. Occasionally, intense moments include passionate grasping of her partner's head, deep grinding against her lover's mouth, and expressions of pleasure through moans, whimpers, or even erotic talk. Other times, she may transition to positions like riding high, moving energetically, breasts bouncing, mouth open, eyes closed all, while maintaining strong connection and desire. Some women find that pinching their own nipples or those of their partner enhances sensation and excitement. When exhaustion threatens to slow the momentum, additional support from the partner, like grasping hips to deepen pressure or adjusting positioning to stimulate the clitoris further, can reignite the fire. While instructional videos and online resources can provide helpful tips on technique, the irreplaceable foundation is honest communication tailored to the couple. Experiment freely, but always prioritize mutual consent and willingness. Discovering the unique spots on, in, and around her body that elicit the most pleasure is a journey that requires patience and care. Finding the right balance between pressure, speed, and touch, whether heavy and vigorous or soft and sensuous, is key. For me, positioning fingers palm up, slightly curved, just inside the entrance where they press gently against soft tissue while simultaneously stimulating the clitoral area with the tongue and lips, has led to some of the most profound and unforgettable experiences. Although anal intimacy does not appeal to every woman, when approached with generous lubrication, patience, and mutual agreement, it can add an exciting dimension. Early in our marriage, I never would have imagined trying this, but through open conversation, he expressed curiosity and desire, and together we explored everything, including gentle anal play and attention to the surrounding areas. Knowing everything is clean beforehand is essential, as is ongoing consent. Feeling a thumb or finger there, combined with internal stimulation of the vagina, can create a deep, encompassing pleasure. The tightening of the sphincter around a digit as the vaginal walls contract often multiplies the sensations, creating an overwhelming, electrifying effect. As with all things intimate, these experiences must be jointly discussed and mutually agreed upon. Each partner should feel comfortable to voice boundaries without fear of judgment or disappointment. In later years, our sexual life has become richer and more satisfying than ever, despite occasional health or emotional challenges that occasionally slow things down. The love, trust, and communication we've nurtured allow us to enjoy a profound connection that continues to evolve and bring joy into our lives. As time moves forward, changes naturally occur in our bodies, and it's important to approach these shifts with understanding and patience, especially within intimate relationships. For men, aging can bring about noticeable differences, sometimes causing concern or insecurity. It's essential for a partner, particularly a wife, not to assume that any change in the quality or frequency of intimate moments is a reflection of the relationship or her own desirability. Physiological changes happen, and having open, compassionate conversations can help both partners navigate these new realities with grace. Every man's preferences and responses shift over time, so maintaining ongoing communication is key. What felt thrilling in one season of life might evolve into something different or require additional attention in another. Discovering what brings pleasure now rather than relying on old patterns keeps intimacy alive and fulfilling. For example, at times, my husband enjoys gentle pinching of his nipples as I focus attention below. At other times, incorporating subtle touches around sensitive areas behind can bring unexpected delight. There is a well-known practice called prostate massage, which can provide intense sensations for men during moments of climax. I only engage in this when my husband feels comfortable and ready, and cleanliness is ensured. Trust is fundamental. Exploring these less conventional areas with care and respect opens wider doors for pleasure and intimacy. A tantalizing aspect is softly stimulating the small muscle around the anus with the tongue, observing the reactions and hearing expressions of pleasure. These moments are intimate and vulnerable, deepening connection. As my husband's body ages, it takes him longer to reach climax, but the intensity and depth of that moment increases significantly. Alongside these changes, the quantity of seminal fluid produced tends to decrease, which is a natural part of aging. From my side, giving devoted oral attention for extended periods can become tiring, both physically and mentally. To accommodate this, combining oral care with manual stimulation provides a helpful rhythm that allows brief rest periods without breaking the flow of pleasure. Using fingers in sensitive spots and gentle pinching of the nipples offers valuable alternation and variety. A particularly important spot often overlooked is the frenulum, the thin, sensitive area beneath the tip of the penis. When well lubricated, gentle stroking with a thumb or light teasing with the tongue in this region can intensify orgasmic pleasure remarkably. Following my husband's advice, a helpful technique involves coordinating hand strokes along the shaft in sync with the movement of the mouth. Firmly gripping around the shaft while moving the mouth up and down and gently sucking, not merely holding still, creates a dynamic and stimulating experience. This coordinated motion often leads to impressive climaxes. Sometimes I softly hold the soft skin beneath the penis, and at other moments I gently wrap fingers around the part where the skin connects the pouch to the underside. This doesn't mean squeezing the testicles, but applying just enough support to increase sensation and pleasure. Applying plenty of lubrication to the pouch area and alternating gentle massaging touches with oral attention can enhance delight. It's important to remember that mouth stimulation is not the only form of care. Making eye contact while engaged, letting him see the affection and enthusiasm in my eyes, heightens intimacy remarkably. As the years have passed, we've adapted to these changes with patience and curiosity. Our sexual connection remains vibrant and rewarding because we continue to learn and adjust together. Sometimes slight health issues or emotional stress slow things down temporarily, but our bond and desire persist, growing even stronger as we age hand in hand. Communication, mutual respect, and willingness to explore are the pillars that sustain our shared pleasure and deep affection. Over the years, intimacy has become a deeper and more fulfilling experience for us, enriched by the openness and trust we've cultivated. This growth did not come overnight, but resulted from a commitment to communicate honestly and explore each other's desires without judgment or reservation. Writing about these experiences alongside my husband has allowed us to reflect on what truly brings us joy and connection in our shared journey. Together, we hope to inspire other couples to embrace vulnerability and break down barriers that can hinder intimacy. At this stage in life, our sexual connection is more satisfying than it has ever been, even though we have faced health challenges and emotional ups and downs that occasionally interrupt our rhythm. These moments of pause are normal, and what sustains us through them is the strong love and understanding we have nurtured. We've learned that intimacy is about more than physical acts alone. It encompasses emotional safety, mutual respect, and ongoing care for one another's well-being. Each challenge has strengthened our ability to lean on one another and find new ways to express affection and desire. It's a reminder that intimacy evolves and can deepen despite or sometimes because of the inevitable changes life brings. Knowing this, we approach each encounter with renewed gratitude and enthusiasm, never taking our closeness for granted. We cherish these special times as precious opportunities to celebrate our unique bond. Our journey has shown us that the key to a vibrant, intimate life, regardless of age or circumstance, is rooted in communication, the willingness to speak openly about what pleases us, what needs adjustment, and what dreams we hold for our relationship. It requires honesty and courage from both partners and an atmosphere of mutual support that invites ongoing growth. We encourage couples to view intimacy not as a fixed set of actions, but as a living, breathing connection that demands attention, creativity, and care. Through dialogue and experimentation, couples discover what resonates deeply, unlocking pleasures that might have once seemed out of reach. Above all, intimacy flourishes where love and respect guide every touch and word. In sharing our experiences, we hope to help others recognize that no matter the stage of life or the challenges faced, it is possible to cultivate a rich, joyful, and meaningful, intimate relationship. When both partners commit to giving fully and listening earnestly, the rewards extend far beyond the moment, deepening trust and strengthening their union. We believe that intimacy is a sacred gift, and tending to it with kindness and openness enriches not just the couple but their entire shared life. As we continue on our path together, we look forward to new adventures and connection, confident that the foundation of love we've built will support us through whatever lies ahead. Our story is a testament to the power of communication, patience, and wholehearted giving in creating an enduring and passionate partnership.